I'll tell you one more little story, and then I'll be happy to answer questions. I've been doing this for about 40 years. I've written, I think this is my 9th or 10th book, and I think you got it right. Thousands of magazine stories, newspaper articles. You would think that I'm an old hand now, an old master. So I showed up at the White House to interview the President of the United States. Clearly the most significant interview for this book. Maybe one of the more significant ones in my lifetime. And I had prepared very thoroughly to interview the president. I knew that they had given me an hour, and that I wanted to make sure that I covered the points that I had to cover in that hour. You don't want to leave the Oval Office thinking, oh my God, I forgot to ask him about that helicopter crashing. And so I was very concerned about getting all this in. And also, I knew the president has a reputation for being something of a talker, so I could imagine him getting into a digression and watching 15 minutes slide off of the clock. And I was rehearsing in my mind how exactly you interrupt the President of the United States and say, could you please get back on message? Nevertheless, this was not a problem. I ended up the President gave me an hour and a half. He was extremely candid and forthcoming, tried, I think, very hard to answer my questions thoroughly and very much to the point. In fact, it was an extraordinary interview, and I felt very fortunate to have that opportunity. And as I stood up to say goodbye to the president, I looked down and my tape recorder had died. Now, I had no idea how long it had run before it collapsed. This has never happened to me in 40 years of working as a reporter. And believe me, new batteries were in that sucker. And that thing, had always worked like a charm, but there it was, just as dead as a nut on the table. So I said my goodbyes, and as I was walking out of the Oval Office with Ben Rhodes, I said, Ben, you're not going to believe this, but my recorder died in the middle of that somewhere. Don't worry about it. He says, we record everything in here. We'll get you a transcript before you leave. And he did. Thank you very much. Thank you.